Hey everybody, welcome to your power yoga practice. And I want to give a special welcome to all of our members at theyogamat.com. Remember, they get access to practice this video live and immediate on-demand access 2 weeks before you get to watch it here on YouTube. So go ahead and head over to your mat and we'll get started. All right, you can go ahead and come on up to the top of your mat. So let's bring the big toes together, heels to the side, and then go ahead and take your hands to your heart. And then we want to work on that deep breathing. So just breathe in and out the nose and getting the air to rush against the back of the throat. So it starts to make a little bit of noise there. Build heat in the body using that breath. Yeah, a couple more rounds of breath here, then we'll get moving into our sun salutations, getting warmed up here for our practice. And go ahead and exhale, relax your arms. Open the eyes, lift the arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step to a high push-up. Then drawing your navel in, we'll keep that core engaged, lower down to a hover. Upward facing, inhale, look up, and downward dog as you exhale. So let's set those feet up about hip width. We'll take the hands shoulder width apart. And for this, maybe this first downward dog, maybe the first couple of them, you want to pedal the feet, bend one knee, bend the other, try to reach the heel of the straight leg down toward your mat. And we'll just work on getting a little deeper stretch there to the calves. And then you can begin to press both heels down. And bend the knees, look forward, step the feet up. Lengthen, look up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, back up. We're going to flow these. Exhale, forward fold, right back down. Inhale, look to the horizon. Exhale, step to a high push-up. Hug your elbows to your side, lower down. Again, hover if you can. Upward facing, you want to lift the thighs up. And downward dog, back over the toes. And so you can get back into that variation there to get into the calves a little bit more if you want to. While you're working on that, we'll bring the awareness to your hands and your shoulders. So the hands shoulder width apart. You want to try to press your palms down into the floor as you spread your fingers really wide. And just broaden through the shoulders. And maybe this time we jump to the top of the mat. Again, it's optional. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or see if you can lightly hop the feet up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold, hands down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, step, or you can hop back with your elbows bent, lower down. Upward dog, shoulders back. Downward facing, exhale. Again, let's try to lengthen your breath out. Good, inhaling, maybe to about a count of 4. If that didn't work, you can do something a little bit shallower or deeper. And just whatever number you pick, and making that exhale last for the same duration. And bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, look up, exhale, fold. And bring the feet all the way together this time. Bend your knees, come into your chair pose. Good. So when you're here in chair, again, lower down, pull your knees back towards your heels. So you want to be able to see those toes. And then fan the toes up. Lift your gaze up towards your hands. Try to go down just a little bit lower here. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs, fold down. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step, or you can hop back high to your low push-up. Upward facing, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Right foot steps between the hands. Inhale, warrior A. And then this first warrior A, we're going to spend about 5 rounds of breath here. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms to the ceiling. Good. So in warrior A, that back heel is pressing down into your mat. You've got your hips squaring off toward the front of that mat. And the front knee is more or less stacking on top of your ankle. And with that next exhale, release your hands to the floor. Step from a high to a low push-up. Inhale to your back bend. Downward facing, exhale. And then the other side, big step forward that left foot. Inhale, back up. Interlacing fingers, palms to ceiling. Yeah, go ahead and lift your gaze up to your hands. And taking your gaze, your drishti up. And then keep lifting through the inner edge of that back ankle. Flex that right quad. And then tilt the tailbone down towards your mat. See if that'll help keep the foot pressing into the floor. And exhale, release. Take your hands to the floor. Step from a high to a low push-up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, press it back. And again, just try to lengthen the breath out. Usually when we, again, get the heart rate going a little bit quicker, the breath tends to get shallow. So and once we're in a pose where you can focus more on your breath and just try to slow it back down. And bend the knees, look forward, step or hop the feet up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, come back into chair. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to plank and lower. Inhale, look up. Exhale, press it back. Right foot steps between the hands. Inhale, warrior A. Exhale, release. Take the hands to the floor. Plank to chaturanga. Upward facing, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Left foot between the hands. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Take your hands to the floor. Step it back and lower down. Inhale. And exhale. So just on your own here, count 5 deep breaths to yourself. And you'll finish that vinyasa out, coming back up to the top of the mat. Again, whenever you finish, dropping your gaze to your fingertips. And finishing up there, again, no rush. Work at your own pace. And then step back about a foot from the top of your mat. Bend the knees, come back into your chair. This time in chair, interlace fingers, turn palms to ceiling. Again, we'll try to go down a little bit lower here. So squeeze the knees together and draw the navel in. And then lift your gaze up toward the hands. And from here, let's lower down to Ardha Utkatasana. So you want to see if you can get your thighs, your arms about parallel to your mat. And look down towards your feet. Let's hold here, just take one more breath. And then release, straighten the legs, forward fold. So you can walk your feet back a little bit more, and let's try our arm balance here. So we're gonna work through crow or bakasana. So from your squat, take your knees out a little bit wider, and work your arms to the inside of your legs, hands shoulder width, and then lift the heels. Start to squeeze your legs in on your arms, look forward, lean forward, and then see if you can pick one foot up. You might try the other side, or see if you get both legs to lift. And then send the legs back, high to low push up, upward dog, downward facing. Take a second here, find your breath again. And then with your next exhale, right foot between the hands. Inhale, come back up, warrior A. And then from warrior B, A, open to warrior B. So you may have to take that left leg a little bit further back if you need a more distance there between the feet. With your arms, reach them out long, relax through the shoulders. And look right over to your front middle finger. Your next exhale, take your reverse warrior. So the left arm dropping to that left leg, right arm up. The right arm's trying to reach toward the ceiling, and then you're adding the side bend in over to the left. And then when you do that, keep that same amount of bend in the front leg. Inhale, come back up, warrior B. Exhale, reach with your right arm. Let's take extended side angle. So your forearm to your thigh, left arm up, and then reach it out. So the forearm will press it into that leg. Try to roll the left side of the chest a little further open. And look out towards your left hand. With your next exhale, we're going to turn to a twisting crescent lunge. So we'll take the left hand to the floor, pivot to the ball of that back foot. And again, you may have to slide that foot a little bit further back. Right hand to the thigh, twist, look over to the right shoulder. That's option one. Option two is to lift the right arm up. Modified version of this, do it from a low lunge. You can take your twist that way, dropping that left knee down to the floor. And keep pulling the right side of the hip back. See if you get that stretch there, outer hip into that glute. And one more breath. And then as you exhale, release, take your hands to the floor. And slide that left leg back a little bit further and then drop your knee. Take a breath in, look up. And then as you exhale, either stay right where you are or lower down a little bit. So you might bend the elbows, maybe get your forearms to drop down to your mat. I'm trying to get that stretch to the, could be to the inner right thigh, could be to the back of the thigh, and then also into that left hip flexor. And go ahead and come back up to your hands. Take your right leg back into a high push-up, and then vinyasa, lower down. Upward facing, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. And again, a couple rounds of breath here. Just trying to press your mat further away from you. Again, at any point during class, you want to stop, take a little rest in child's pose. Just drop your knees down to your mat, press your hips back towards your heels, and you can take as much rest as you need. Let's go ahead and move to the other side, left foot forward. And briefly come to warrior A, inhale, reach the arms. And then on that exhale, we'll go ahead and open to warrior B. And gaze looking over to that left hand. But so without looking at your left knee or that right foot, see if you can tell if the knee is on top of the ankle. And then what direction it's pointing. I want to send it toward the pinky side of that foot, so that will externally rotate that left thigh. Do the opposite here with the back one. You're internally rotating that right leg. And that outer edge of the right foot's pressing into your mat. With your next exhale, reverse your warrior. And you can take that right hand to the thigh like I've got, or maybe you take the right hand behind the back. You can reach around, grab for that waistband, maybe grab for the thigh. On the inhale, we'll come back to warrior B. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, this is just one option with side angle that you can take. That left hand could drop down to your mat. Or if you ended up doing a shoulder bind on the other side, then you want to go ahead and repeat it here. Right arm behind the back would get you in half bound. And then for the full bind, left arm dropping down to the inside of the leg, and then wrapping the arm around the thigh, letting the fingers meet behind the back. With your next exhale, let's take that twisting crescent lunge, right hand to the floor, left hand to the thigh. Inhale, start to twist. And there's your modified version, the knee down to the floor. Your choice if you want to reach this left arm up or not. Take one more full round of breath here. And exhale, release, hands to the floor. Slide that right leg a little further back if you can get it. And then drop it down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold down. And again, one side is probably going to be a little bit different from the other. So range of motion, again, pretty likely to not be identical. And again, that's not real important. Again, it doesn't have to be the same on each side. You're just trying to go for the same amount of stretch in between sides. And then inhale, come back up to your hands, step it to a high push-up, and then flow through your vinyasa. And from your downward dog, let's go ahead and walk the hands back to meet the feet. You got your feet about hip width. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Bend your knees. This first one's just rest. Inhale. Exhale, relax down. So again, keep enough bend in the knees so you're really not feeling a stretch here. Again, we want this to be rest. You can shake your head yes, shake it no. And then with that next exhale, bend your knees quite a bit more and then step on your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, start to lean forward into your palms. At this point, we might get the elbows to bend out to the side and the shoulders to go a little bit wider. And then up to you again, you're getting the stretch there to the back of the legs. Keep the knees bent or work your legs closer to being straight. And release the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to your hips, chin to your chest. Slowly come back up. And step your feet together, bring your hands to center. All right, let's just go ahead and work through a little bit of balance here, and then we'll make our way down to the floor. So start with your left leg, fan your toes, and bring those back down to your mat. The right foot can stay there on the floor for tree, again, depending on what your balance is like today. Or we'll work above or below that left knee. Open the knee to the side. Take your hands to center. And just hold here. Try to keep your balance. If you lose it, again, no big deal. Take a second and then come back into it. Let's go ahead and release and move right into the other side. So fan your right toes up, bring them down, and flexing that quad, left foot, and you can pick it up just as high on that leg as you want. Let's relax your shoulders. And exhale, release, set it down. You can come back up to the top of your mat. Let's go ahead and make our way down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step, or you can hop it back. Lower down, hover. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. And you can drop your knees down to your mat. Let's work on hips here for a little bit. So we'll bring this right knee forward. So right knee toward the outside of your right wrist. And then try to slide this left leg a little bit further back. Yep. So you're going for hip flexor stretch on the left leg, outer right hip, right glute. Make sure there's no stress in this right knee. If it is, you can roll all the way into that hip and then bring a bend into both legs. From here, you can stay onto your hands or you can lower down to the forearms. At this point, you can start to deepen that breath a little bit more. So just try to inhale for maybe one more count than you have been so far. Again, exhaling for the same. Come back up to your hands. Going to roll all the way over into that right glute. Swing your left leg around. And depending on what the knee feels like, you can go cross legs, left shin in front of your right, or you can go for double pigeon. You'd be stacking your left knee in front of, on top of the right. So again, you can stay upright, or if there's no stress in the knees, then you can start to walk the hands forward. So this one could get into one or possibly both hips at the same time. Inhale, work your way back up. Lean back slightly off of the sits bones, and then add the legs. We'll take our boat pose here at Navasana. And cross your legs, and you're going to roll through. Go to a high push-up and lower down. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing. And drop your knees down to your mat. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. Again, the left knee wide, so that left knee is probably pretty close to the edge of the mat and a little bit wider than the hand. Work that right leg back. So this is your alternative, your modified version. So I've got a torn meniscus in this left leg, so sometimes it bothers me a little bit. This is one that is much more accessible if you have any sort of knee issues. So again, about a 90-degree bend in both legs. And then you can start to walk your hands forward and lower down. If you're doing this one, make sure you lean far enough to the left that this knee and the leg is completely flattened to the floor. And you should still be getting that stretch there to the outer hip. Again, it's just a different version that's going to get to that without putting any stress in the knee. And start to come back up to your hands. Again, roll all the way into that left glute, and you can bring your right leg around. Again, you can go cross legs, right shin in front of left, double pigeon, right knee on top. And your choice if you want to add the forward fold in. And come back up to your hands. Again, lean back a little bit and do the cross in the legs. And then we'll take both legs straight out in front. And flex your feet, reach the arms up. Exhaling, fold, peace fingers down toward the big toes. Inhale and exhale, fold. The alternative version of this one is to bend the knees, grab your elbows underneath. So this one would be a little bit less or maybe no hamstring stretch at all, but a little bit more into the back. And start to make your way back up. And then go ahead and lie down on your back. We'll take relaxation here. We've got just a couple minutes left. If you've got longer than half hour for your practice, then you can stay here as long as you want in relaxation. Take your time, come back up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Thanks for practicing. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste. Mary, if you want to join me in class, I teach in Middletown and Pleasureville in Kentucky, and then I've got a whole bunch of classes online at theyogamat.com, live, and getting close to 700 on-demand classes at this point. So visit theyogamat.com, or you can check out the QR code here just right after this. See you next time. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that class. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to get a new short form class every week. And if you like what you see and you want to support me, go become a member at theyogamat.com. You'll get unlimited live virtual classes every week and access to our on-demand library with over 500 classes in it. Have a great day. Namaste.